the stock kind of what we call that presentations there. All right, so if we want to go into this, what we call that, this kind of sessions here, okay? So if you have been check basically these videos that I have shown, okay, how to clean up back in the line, how to compose and also develop the right kind of compositions there. Okay, let me recap a bit back again. Okay, Kahuang there. Okay, Kahuang right. Okay, Kahuang actually right. Okay, been asked me here right. Okay, about she or he is not actually right. Wait up, right? We did have our practical class because of the holiday. So are we going to have a traditional class since last week, Tuesday? Music class in the right? So let me send this message definitely, okay? We having a class. Let me send the videos here to them. Let me send the videos also to them. Have you guys checked these videos here, guys? All right. So have you guys watched the videos there, guys? All right, Zuyin, okay. Do you have any question there? Because by looking at your kind of presentations, right, which I actually have saw from your kind of developments directly for the first assignments, I'm still not actually satisfied with the way that actually you conduct those sketches there. Okay? I'm not talking about the finalization of your works there, but the way that you sketch your ideas were not basically quite suitable, okay, for the stage that you have been going through with me, okay, for the rest of the 2 semesters. Right? Okay, Zayn?
Yes.
You can hear me there, right?
Yep.
Yeah. If you check back again your work, all right, okay, your kind of presentation of your work for your last assignments there, okay, your first assignments there, I would say that I can't actually accept it as a part of your way of sketching, right? Because I'm seeing that those characters is just like you trace and copy from other people's work without using the right kind of methods to develop the structures there. I know that you cannot draw well, but the way that I show you guys basically help you to develop your kind of learning experience and understanding from there. But you don't apply from there, right? I don't know whether the way that I actually teach is wrong, or you don't understand, or you don't actually try to develop understanding from what you see there, right? Okay, so I would say that you have to redo it from there. Okay.
The character.
Yes. See, when you design a character, okay, right? Okay. Hmm. I think you have tried hard enough, lah, right? Okay? But if you can try to show a little bit kind of efforts more, right? Because we want the way that I want you to present, okay, everyone to present, it's not to finalize the characters, right? Okay? Just from copying from other people's work, that you have to develop your own kind of understanding to develop the structures well there, okay? How you control the pressures, how you control the strokes, the shape itself also has to be improved, right? Okay? But it's a good kind of efforts, lah, right? Okay? If
Okay.
you want to, this is the final kind of design, right? The rabbit, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. How about your second assignments? Have you done anything yet?
I haven't what submit.
Okay. You want to share with us today
But my
on your
computer
screen?
got some problem. It cannot present the screen now.
Right.
I don't know why, but I try a few times, but it cannot.
Okay, it's okay.
Maybe later I WhatsApp you for the second assignment.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, remember guys, okay? Sorry, guys. Okay, whatever that you guys are going to go through, okay, after this, right, okay, when you want to present your ideas and your works, always go through with the right kind of way of presenting your kind of ideas with the right kind of strokes of sketching line there, right, okay? So those are the things there. What basically I've seen from from your friends kind of works, okay, Huang is taken there last week. That's why I'm actually giving a little bit kind of suggestions to change, not to change the story, but to change the way that they that he actually developed the strokes therapy and understand how to develop your kind of design in the right way there. Okay, applying the right kind of strokes therapy, okay, it works. So if you watch back again these videos, I'm actually have given, okay, a lot of samples, okay, back again, all right, how to develop basically the your ideas here, okay. Whenever that you guys are going to work with any kind of development ideas, okay, later on, right, okay, don't you ever go back into this kind of drawings there, all right, this kind of drawings, okay. Do you know what is wrong here? You need to notice right now, okay, what is wrong about someone kind of what we call that drawings or style to present the works there, okay? You need to notice that. Even though as an individual there again, as yourself also, when you're doing something wrong, you need to realize that, you need to understand that, okay? Don't just simply do it because you feel comfortable with it, but the technique that you actually try to present basically is wrong. Make sure you actually recognize that, because if you not actually prevent or avoid of doing this kind of things, right, you not actually try to prevent them, you will find yourself doesn't have any improvement in terms of design or drawing kind of developments there, okay? You don't actually find out that you don't actually improve on the skill itself. So that's basically what I want to stress out, okay, for all the students, okay, for this semesters, especially for illustration subjects. All right, for illustration subject. Okay, you guys understand, right? So if you say, if someone said, okay, you don't understand what I'm saying there, okay, by looking at the way that actually I draw, you guys also can learn it, right? Okay? You don't have to understand all the language that people actually going to pronounce for you guys there, right? The way that we construct the line there, right? Okay? Those are the things that really important there. Learn from what you see. Because what I have experienced before, when I'm teaching Okuyu kind of person, right? Okay, like a deaf person there, right? Deaf, they cannot hear well, they cannot speak well, this kind of person there. Because there is a program that we have done before that this kind of disabled kind of person, people there, okay, the only courses that they can enter there, they can join is graphic design, is multimedia design there. Why? Even though multimedia design there there's a what we call that, there's a sound audio kind of what we call that subjects that actually require them to learn there, right? But design is one of the careers, one of the job scope that these kind of people can work in the industry there. Okay, they can hire, okay, they can hire the job. People actually have this kind of disability because why? Because design doesn't have to, you don't have to speak or explain. If you cannot explain about your design, let's say you have a presentation, right? As a normal person, yes, we need to to explain, okay, about our design. But if you can give a very good kind of understanding on your visuals, that people can understand your ideas from your visuals directly, from your design directly, from your sketch directly, you don't have to explain to them. Like what I actually explain right now, okay, what I actually show right now, okay. When you actually present your work, for example, like this, okay, I think Kahwang actually have actually improved a lot from here. Okay? But if you actually show people that you draw your characters like this, you don't have to explain to people that whether you can draw or not. People can see that you can't actually, you don't have the right kind of skills to develop your ideas like a designer. These kind of drawings, basically, kids also can draw. I'm not saying Taiwan is not improved. I think he's improved already from here already, but I want to show only some examples there because some of you guys will actually use this kind of drawings there. Right? If you want to have this kind of mindset, okay, that told Mr. Faisal doesn't like this kind of drawing. Yes, I doesn't like this kind of drawings. By right, if you ask anyone else, Juan Kasturi or Miss Fundera, okay, they will actually say the same kind of comment, right? Okay, they will give the same kind of comment. We don't like this kind of drawing style. Why? Because it doesn't show that you actually represent a design candidate, design student there, right? Because if you want to sketch like this, you don't have to enter a formal studies. for multimedia design. Layman kids, my 12-year-old, 13-year-old daughter also can draw like this. Okay, remember that. But if you want to choose this kind of drawing as a purpose to serve your design styles, yes, it can. But I believe that you draw this thing because you don't know or you don't apply what you learn. That's all. Okay? Okay, guys? Understand, right? So change the way you draw from now on there, okay? And do a little bit more on research on that. All right, any questions on the final assignments before I'm going to release them? Basically, I already show you guys, also explain a little bit, right, okay? What basically that we're going to expect on our works. Any questions? Okay, if I want to go back into what we actually supposed to do for the final works, okay, this is something that I want to show back again. Okay, this is the one that you should do exactly like this. The size are going to be around 12 by 12 inch there. The size of your format there, okay. If I want to talk about the example of your outcomes, they're going to be similar to this one there, okay. This is one of my unpublished children's books, right? Illustrations, picture books there that explain a lot, not about the stories there. The story is quite simple there, all right? Okay? The story is all about one character who want to break through or get out from his planet into other planets. He want to migrate there, right? Because he want to find some of the advantages, some of the great kind of explorations okay, along the way, all right? So he doesn't like all the things that actually around him, right? He wants to go search for to go for some adventures there. So finally he finds some of the things that can he fight together to become alright, to succeed his journeys. And then he's finally right. Okay, during the process of his want to go through okay with his journey there, right? Okay, he actually find one of the big obstacles there, right? One of the monsters doesn't like him to go back, okay, to go out from his planet, right? Okay? So he's got to go through with it, and finally he found one of his spaceships, right? So he tried to repair, right? Okay, repair his spaceship, and suddenly he's get through, okay, the planet there, right? Okay? Succeed to go with it. But he's find out, okay, other planet also have the same kind of problems there, okay, similar kind of problems there. So that means, okay, this story is basically, I just want to portray that we cannot get out from any kind of problems there. We have to face them, okay? These are what happens there. Don't run away from your problems, like those are the things basically, right? The simplest kind of stories there, right? To give people, to tell children about, okay, the young generations about. Don't try to get out from any kind of situations there, to run away from any situations. Just face those situations there and get through your life there, right? Get it solved. Right? Just those are the basic concept of the stories there. But what are the important things that I want to show basically on the visual itself? I want to experiment with various type of styles, textures, approach, techniques, okay, in these particular students' books there, right, okay? I actually write exploring and also experiment with some of the textures, element, photo collage, digital photo collage, right, okay? With the line kind of works, a very grotesque kind of what we call that technique with the drip splat, right, combined with some textures, all right? So those are the things that I want to experiment with the techniques, right? So whatever that we're going to do as a visualizers there, right, okay? You have to attract people with your uniqueness there. Uniqueness there. When you present your work later on, make sure you can find a unique way to approach your work, a unique way there, right? A unique kind of approach. If you cannot find, it's okay. Okay, but make sure that you improve your way to present your ideas there, especially when it comes to your drawing strokes, right? Your drawing strokes, right? Remember that. Okay, those are the most important things there, right? Okay, because drawing stroke, it doesn't have to be a quite perfectly been done there, right? Okay, because for me, if you want to draw something more like, for example, like this, okay, let me see a drawing stroke like that. Okay, for example, I don't know that whether you guys like this kind of drawings or not, there, right? I don't know that, okay, because most of the time you actually what you learn, what you like, basically only anime and manga styles there, right? But if you want to draw like this, purposely there, right? What basically I want to suggest is to do some research first. And also, when if you want to sketch, like for example, this is basically your ideas there. I want to draw like this one. Okay? So how actually I'm going to compile my ideas there. Okay, using the same techniques there. Okay? This is not a final work there, but I try to what we call that redesign them. Okay? Because some people they doesn't want to move, but you need to have a unique kind of way to approach your works. Okay, so if you don't have the uniqueness, remember what I say, uniqueness of your works there, okay, you will find yourself out from the out from the pack there, okay, the sessions there, okay, or a part of the program there, okay, you will find yourself lost of this there, okay. Why? Because in multimedia illustrations, it's not all about how good you are to draw like anime, manga, or any professional drawings are not there, right? It's not about that. Like Zuyun before that, okay? Zuyun, okay, remember that, okay? I'm not saying that you cannot go through with your own skills there. You can, but you need to do some research a bit more. All right, you have to open up your mind from there, all right? Because you actually have been repeat subjects there, okay? So I know that okay, some people have this kind of situation that they cannot go through with the perfect kind of drawings there. So for me, this is one of the way that you can actually execute. But if you like, some people doesn't like this kind of drawing because they find quite ugly there, right? So even though you want to draw like anime styles there, right, for example, but sometimes when I saw people draw like anime styles there, right? Let me see, I will draw some. Suddenly they want to draw the eyes, right? They become look like they pretend to draw like anime, but it's not, right? This is the nose, this is the lips there, see? Right. Can you see that, the difference there? They draw like this one, right? But it seems like they draw like, like out of proportions. I have one of my friends that I actually knowing for the past 25 years. You know what I'm problem with this guy there, right? My friend here. Do you love anime very much there? Manga, anime. We can talk about all this anime stuff there. But the problem that he has, he doesn't develop the skills. Even though he's one of my batch, right? But he takes a very quite long time there to change, to develop his skills there. Because even though we learn the same subjects, we learn all the same subjects again, from drawing into figure drawing, anatomy drawings there, design, right? But Ising doesn't have the right kind of mindset to change the way you draw, right? Even though this guy actually loved to read a lot, okay? He loved to read a lot. He can talk, he can present. He actually had been teach also, right, okay, at one of the local universities there. But the problem that I actually find him, he take quite some time to change there, quite long there, okay? Almost 20 years there to change the way he draw. So if you take a look right now, okay, if you want to go back into this one, always there. So you, all right, try to control the basic structures there first. I don't know whether I need to explain in details, okay, why actually I need to draw all this kind of measurement line there, okay. All these measurement line basically to develop the structures there, the balance there between the alignment there. Right? Okay, if you go back into my notes that I actually share with you guys here, okay, you can read the notes if you want to. It's all about how to create a basic understanding, general understanding how to human scale and context of those proportions there, okay? To check these notes, learn from there, and also what are the most important thing is how you're going to change the way you develop the structures there back, right? Okay, those are the things there. Because this kind of what we call that understandings is really important. Even though you want to draw this very simple kind of characters there, okay? I draw from doodle kind of lines that if I want to go back into to draw exactly what I want for this design there, right? Okay, I will go back into this kind of structures that I did. Why? Because I want to make sure that I understand where basically I want to put uh, the nose, the eyes, the mouth there, for example there. Because when it comes to animation subjects later on, you need to understand also all these kind of basic fundamental structures there when you design your characters. Okay, when you design your characters. Okay, if you don't understand that, it's quite hard for you to design your characters, even though you want to design a very simple characters like this. All right, Zayin, if you really have a hard time to draw human anatomy kind of characters, you can start to draw a very simple kind of structures of characters like this. Right? You draw a rabbit there, right? Okay, a rabbit. There's a lot of way to draw rabbit there, right? So if you start with this kind of basic structures when you want to draw them, right, they will be easy for you to refine them back there. Okay, so to get some ideas that it doesn't have to take a lot of time there. Everything is all about constructive line and develop the structures well there, right? Even though you want to draw these characters there, right? Go back into this one. right? Measurement line for the eyes itself there. Mouth is now when you draw, right? When I draw, right, I just simply draw the nose basically quite what we call that off to the bottom there. Okay, basically this is the right way to draw the nose there to balance them out. More QT there. Okay, if you draw someone actually right, the nose is going to quite long a bit more like that. Become weird, become an alien there. Okay, so remember about that. Okay. So these notes basically will help you to develop it kind of, hopefully can give you guys more understanding how actually you're going to draw and start to draw the structures. So the good thing about what you actually have gained this semester there is basically you can work with digital format or digital media, right? Digital media. So that means there's a lot of challenges that other people actually have learned before. Okay, to learn to draw the nose, eyes, and any kind of shapes there, right? Basically, you guys can actually have a lot of simple kind of what we call the process, okay? Because sometimes, okay, someone, okay, when we want to draw human there, all right? If you draw human, how is it there, right? Okay? I want to show you guys a bit from here. If I want to draw human head there, from three-quarter view there, okay? So I want to measure basically, okay, these are going to be the nose areas. You can see the basic structures there. These are going to be the lips, if from three-quarter view, right? These are going to be right between the lips, basically the eyes over there. And between the nose, basically there's eye shapes over here, from three-quarter view there. This is the shape from three-quarter view there. Okay. This is basically the skull. The skull. So eyes, okay, in between, in the middle areas of the eyes, they're going to be the lips, the last part, okay, of the lips there. So normally, okay, those are the standard positions there. Now the ears, the shape structures of the ears there. See, a lot of shapes of the ears there. On the nose also they have give you guys a bit kind of understanding from there. Right now, this is the skull there. If I want to add a little bit kind of details before that we draw basically the eyebrows itself, the shapes of the eyebrow here. Okay. If I want to go a little bit into details, this is the nose there, right? There's a nose hole for the skeleton there, right there, like that. This is basically the skull there. These are going to be the teeth there, right? Just simply draw them there, right? This is going to be the teeth, not quite details there. These are going to be the skull itself. Okay. Basically, okay, I didn't actually emphasize a bit more detail there because we are not studying anatomy. So if you say, okay, how I should imagine them, I can study the basic skull structures there. This is right. A bit more like a cartooning, okay, but this is the basically the skull or the structures of your kind of anatomy there to understand that. All right. So from here, there, you can start to draw. All right. the eyes themselves, the shapes of the eyes there. Right? From this side there, right? Okay, this is the eyes, the eyeball there, right? See the eyeballs there. And the positions is 3/4 view there, right? 3/4 view. Right? Same goes to this one there, right? Okay? This is the eyeballs there. This is the basically the iris, right? The eyeballs are going to be right here. Okay? 3/4 view there. 3/4 view there. The nose, right? The shapes of the nose there. The shapes of the nose there, right? 3 different kind of circles, different sizes there, right? Okay? So from here, then we will draw the nostrils. Yeah. Right now I'm drawing from my imagination, right? The shapes of the nose there. Now the lips there. There's a 1, 2 shapes there, okay? Like a mountain there. So all these kind of drawings there, all these kind of what we call that understandings, don't relying on your imagination there, because I draw a lot there, okay? So I can imagine it. Always find a reference there for you to work there. Okay? Always find a reference there. Draw from pictures there, okay? From the reference there. You can use again the eyebrow shapes. So I'm going to draw those shapes of the eyebrows there. See the way I move my hands to draw this eyebrow there. Controlling the pressures is really, really important there. Okay? Don't talk about anime manga style first, right? Okay? Because if you go back into, if you take a look closely how people draw anime manga, they're right. They all can draw a very perfect drawings. So this is going to be the curved line for the faces, right? This is basically the call that the skulls, this skeleton, it actually shapes of the cheek there, right? Okay, bone. Okay, the ears. See how actually I draw the ears there. Simplifies them, right? If from here, you see that, right? What else you can do there, okay? We draw the hairline there, okay? Hair structures there. As a human, right, you have this kind of basic structures of the hair, right? Okay? Then you can actually try to redesign them. See the way I move my hands to draw the hair structures there. These are going to be the neck. Right? So if you take a look, because some of the areas over here, I can actually improve it more. But maybe this is a face of the a random kind of guy that actually can draw based on the structures itself. Right? So what basically we can learn from here is all about the basics understanding that before you're going to redesign that. And of course, whatever that we're going to go through is all about understanding the measurement there, right? Okay? It's all about that. From here, if you want to draw from the side profiles, right? The side profiles there, right? Okay? Measurement there. Lips. This is the measurement for the lips and the lower lips there. Hardly we can actually, there's a few kind of case, right? Some people, the lower lips is more bigger than the upper lips there, right? Some people there, but it's depending on the jaw there, okay? The jaw inside there, right? The jaw there, okay? So it's rarely there, okay? But normally, in standard kind of formats, the upper lips is more pointed than the lower lips there, okay? Those are the things that you have to remember, okay? Between the nose and the eyes alignments, they're going to be the ears there. Shapes of the ears there, okay? And these are going to be the alignments for those eyes there. The eyes is not straight like this, okay? They're going to be diagonal a bit there, right? Okay, from side profile there. And then we're going to draw the curved line over here, besides on the shapes itself. These are going to be the eyes there. The shapes of the eyes are the sphere right there of the eyeballs there. So this one, the nose shapes, structures there are going to be like this one there. The nose there. Check back again, right? When you actually, this is basically a guideline only there, a guideline there. Curved line for the this part there, right? Because every people have different kind of structures and measurements there. But this is only a standard guideline for you guys to understand how the things are going to be worked there. Right? This is basically our sculpture, right? Okay, that will define the head itself there. Everyone have that. And the eyebrows are going to be right here. Okay, side profiles. You check that. But every single people have different kind of look and feel from there, right? Normally, I give a few kind of exercise based on this one there, right? Draw back again your face, 3, 4 different positions there, right? Okay. But this semester we go through with it more into sketch line that way, okay? Because I want to make sure that you guys can draw in the right way that is. Because using digital nowadays, there's a lot of shortcut that I actually have given you guys there how it works, but you have to improve. You have to practice a bit more, right? So from here, we want to add some. We are going to what we call that. We draw the magazine. Okay. Okay. The eye. That is the nose, lips, and these are going to be the right chin there. The ears, okay, the basic structure is only there, but you have to improvise the line and structure shape there, right, to refine that. From here, then you can start to draw those hairline there. Okay, the hairline. Okay, so that's how it goes. Remember that. Okay, how it works there. But you have to improve from time to time. Okay, draw more to improve more. That's all. Correct. Draw from gestures line. Okay, for example, you want to draw human, right? Characters there, right? Okay. Okay. Draw the gestures line there, please. Okay. If you want to draw human pose there, from here you can improve it more there. That's why I say, okay, when people draw from out of nowhere, right? Okay, suddenly they draw right here like a doodle line. Okay, those are the things that I really doesn't like to see there, okay, because you don't actually understand how the structures works. You just simply draw them, okay? They become the characters, right? Whereas basically the structures line that apply from there. You don't draw the structures line after you draw the form, all right? So draw basic structures line to define the shapes there, okay? That's why when you design something without a form, without the structures there, they become weird, okay? Your design become weird there, right? Because you don't actually emphasize the proportions well there is. Can you see there, okay? When I want to design these characters there, okay, have the basic structures there, right? They look a bit more appealing than this one there. But this one, of course, you can actually design something a bit more like what is this? Maybe a zombie, right? Yeah. Zombie there. Okay. So if you know how to develop the right way, your drawings explorations, your designing exploration will be more fun. All right, will be more fun there. Right. So start to change the way you draw from now on. All right, guys. Any questions so far? I'm going to explain about your assignments there, okay? Maybe in our lecture class there, right? Any questions? No?
No.
All right. So I think we can dismiss early first, okay, so you guys can have a quick lunch there, right, before we can start our lecture class, okay? So hopefully these sessions will help you to gain a bit more and more understanding there, okay, how actually the illustration works there, right? It's all about your skills there, and it's all about the research itself, okay? So don't take for granted from what actually I've shared with you guys there. Learn one step at a chance, but improve more and grow every day there, right? Okay? All right, guys, thank you very much for having me today. So I'll see you guys on 2 o'clock later on, all right? So thank you very much, okay, for coming for these sessions, and have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. See you later.
You're welcome. See you
Thank
later.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.